Second String Sports. We got a few special guests on us this week. We got two unfamiliar faces in the studio. Why don't you give a quick little shout out for all your fans out there, guys?
Well, first, I'd like to thank Grant, Logan, and Jake for having me. Hi, I'm Jeff Lulay. Second time on the show. I'm very thankful to be here and very excited as well.
Point at the camera.
What's good,
for anyone out there
good?
who maybe listening, in their car, after class, you're chilling, listen to the radio.
Just make sure you're not watching in the car.
If you really, let's not get too risky here. But if you want, you can hop on KBVR.com and watch us live, because who wouldn't want to see the beautiful faces behind the microphones, right?
We have great,
absolutely luscious,
beautiful faces.
Personally, Logan's my favorite, but
he's wearing a nice flannel today, looking rustic yet domestic.
Yep,
rustic Logan,
very rustic.
Jeff, I'm kind of salty you didn't pick me though. It's your favorite,
bro. I didn't want that to be out in the open.
All right. Let's get our second guest up here.
Second guest, a little intro.
Hey, this is Kyle Rinker, second time on the show. First time as a student now.
So, that's true.
First time I was on earlier in the early winter.
Yeah, he was back in the Snell days. This is actually Jeff's also second appearance on Second String Sports as well.
Yeah, how you guys feeling the brand new studio here compared to the last
just a
one?
bit of an upgrade, to say the least.
Just a wee little bit, right?
I was fortunate enough actually to be in this studio.
That's
so
right.
I didn't know from the rags to riches story that you guys have, but this is quite the environment you guys here, to say the least.
Exactly. So we got a lot to talk about. It is
to be alive.
Man, if I had some Drake sound bites right now, I'd be absolutely cruising.
Yep.
Anyways, for anyone tuning in right now, we are every Friday 1 to 2 p.m. on KBVR.com or 88.7 FM. If you want to live tweet during the show, as I'm sure many will, with the topics we're about to delve into, you can hashtag Second String Sports while we're talking. You disagree, you hate us.
You can tweet at us as
you
well.
Love us.
Tweet at us at Second String KBVR.
That's our show's Twitter.
Or tweet at Jake.
At J McGrady7.
Or tweet at me at LT McGinnis.
Or tweet at me, Grant Ocampo.
And we don't really need Jebs in, but Jeff, so what's your Twitter account?
And my Twitter is at JLulay. That's JLULAY 36.
All right.
We sound like some thirsty white girls fiending for those Insta likes right now.
Got him.
All right.
There's the
that was
intro.
A perfectly timed record scratch. All right. Transition.
I think you're in a golden transition stage right now here, Jake.
Oh, I'm feeling tingly and ready to talk sports.
Ooh, Tinkle. That sounds like Coach Tinkle almost.
Feeling tinkly.
All right. First topic of the show, as always, some Beaver football actions. One of the second to last weeks we can really talk about Beaver football. So
let's do it.
Sad time, senior year. This is the last literally like one of the last times we're really going to be able to delve into Oregon State football.
It's that free tickets, that free ticket life as students, and we appreciate that. And for a lot of us, it's our last one. So it's a shed of a tear. It's a sad moment for a lot of us. Yeah. So, man, it is.
I'm gonna miss it. But hey, I'll be back with the season tickets.
Of course, we'll be back.
Oh,
exactly.
You already know the diehards are going to be there.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. As unfortunate as it was, Oregon State versus Cal last Saturday. Before we get into this weekend's game, let's talk about last week. Yep. What are your guys' takeaways from the game? I know it was significantly less than ideal, but
I was fortunate enough to go down with an Orange Media Network crew.
That's actually why Logan, for all our listeners, that's why Logan was gone last week. So he's back. We let him get back.
Yeah, the Orange Media Network crew, we had a good time. It was a lot of fun. Just seeing another Pac-12 campus, it's always really cool. But the game overall, I thought, even though it was 54-24 was the final score, there was definitely ways that we could see that this was a positive game, positive impact. I really liked what I saw from Nick Mitchell before he got hurt.
Big difference from UCLA, Nick Mitchell, I must say.
Well, the UCLA game from Nick Mitchell, I'll granted, it was in the rain, it was tough, but even that game, he looked good. He looked composed. Held down the turnovers, which is the biggest part. And it was just the defense side. I was on the sideline as well. Pecco was trying to get everybody pumped up, but it just wasn't there. Not everything was there. And, Goff is, like we said before, Goff is one of the best quarterbacks here in the Pac-12. Future number one QB off the board. And
he tore us up.
Yeah. So... it's it was just a tough game. I don't know what your guys' other opinions on that was, but I thought looking forward to it, Ovgaard got an interception. He played a lot. But so.
There were some good takeaways from it. I mean, it was another week, another loss, and that's hard to deal with as fans because there's just not getting the results. But, like you said, there was a couple bright spots. Gabe Ovgaard, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a good story.
I think.
Ovgaard.
Safety.
Same thing.
He came up with a big pick. It just wasn't, we couldn't get the defensive stops. Mitchell struggled a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know. I feel like we're watching the same game on repeat almost.
Yeah. Well, to kind of build off what Grant just said, the thing with this team for me personally, I've been around the game of football now, 22. I've been around it for 18 years now. I've seen it and watched it at all levels. All I expect out of these guys is a really hard work and effort. I don't expect them to go out there and turn any heads. I expect them to go out there and put in work because every now and then, just going out there and putting in work will beat certain teams. And that's what I like about Coach Anderson.
Yeah.
He's trying to weed out the guys.
Yeah,
he's weeding out the guys.
We've seen it.
Correct. You can see there's guys on the field that'll play because they work hard and the guys aren't getting playing time. As basic as that.
Yeah. He's preached that in the press conference last game as well. He was just, we're looking for the tough guys. We want the people who are tough. And he preached that with, he mentioned Calpecco, he mentioned Ortiz, and just guys like that who want to be out there and want to put in the effort.
And you bring a good point. When the Beavers are ranked number 7 or whatever it was when we were freshmen, that was a tough defense. Those were guys who wanted to hit. We lost that over the last few years, and Anderson's trying to bring that demeanor back. If you think back to Oregon State's days where they were solid, they played with a chip on their shoulder. If you come to Corvallis, you need to play the chip on your shoulder.
The James Rogers to quiz days.
Exactly.
Especially.
So Anderson's trying to help these guys. There's no reason to come in here, chest puffed up, thinking I'm the guy. No, you come here with the chip on your shoulder, you go to work, and you prove it, you earn it. Everything you have to earn for when you're in Corvallis, everything's got to be earned.
Yeah. So, and that's what Gary Anderson's about to do.
Yeah,
so,
I agree. He's the man for the job.
Yeah.
Agreed. And going back to the, calling out people who are working hard and all that, I'm pretty sure you mentioned Paul Lucas, who, I think that was what they teased as a surprise in the backfield earlier in the week.
I liked it.
And I loved it. I mean, this is our biggest recruit, true freshman. If you're going to burn his red shirt, might as well play him.
Yeah.
At this point, there's nothing to lose. I mean, he had 13 carries for 70 yards. And had one called back that probably
that was the second. That was on the same possession where he had a huge run, and then the second one he had another huge run after that, and that's when he got held back. But
and I mean that's a guy who's going to be a big part of the offense going forward. I mean he's got to bulk up a little bit. He's a little bit small to be kind of that workhorse back, but he can be kind of that
change of pace speedster.
Exactly. So. I like that. I hope they continue playing him the rest of the season to get that experience because that's big.
Yeah, I think also if you change that with a change of pace with Nall as well.
Nall's back this week.
See
the wrecking Nall.
Yeah, the wrecking Nall. I love that.
So,
it is what it is.
All right, so we'll put that game behind us.
Moving forward.
Yeah, let's go to UW. UW's
last home game in Reeser of the season. Our last home game of the season.
Yeah.
Man, it's should be an interesting one just by the fact that I feel they need to get one.
Yeah, so UW's coming in here. They're going to be 4-6.
Yeah,
they're looking because then after that they're going to play in the Apple Cup, and that's all, the
so
Apple
maybe
Cup. The Apple
they're
Cup's
not as focused.
Yeah, the Apple Cup's going to be a game. Looking forward to because there's going to be a lot on the line for that game.
More than see, I have to actually disagree with you guys.
Really?
A Coach Peterson team in the last few years, as far as I know, they usually don't overlook or underestimate opponents.
Oh yeah,
sure
I think unfortunately, as bad as or as much as we're hoping for to catch them off guard, Peterson's a hell of a coach.
I don't think we are either. That was a little Jake jumping the wire.
Yeah,
there.
I think Peterson. What Peterson did at Boise State, he took to go from conference games to prepare to rank to. That's a very difficult task. And now it's the script is flipped. It's taking a big time team or big time program and playing down into the level. I think we're going to be in a dogfight.
Yeah, and even though. Washington's record right now. Washington's record now is at 4-6.
They should have beat Oregon. They came down to the last drive for that.
Yeah, their defense is probably. And, I think Baldwin has said this in practices this week is that Washington they're one of the best defensives in the Pac-12, right next to Utah. And Utah's and
we gave Utah a run for their money in Corvallis, which is wild. You got to think about that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like we stood with Utah for a while and Stanford at home.
Yeah. So overall, I think it's going to be an interesting game. I'm not going to say we're going to.
Yeah, I mean,
but
we're going to see the same thing we saw in the last few weeks. We're going to go out there, we're going to try to do things we do, and we're not going to do things we can't do. We're not going to be who we're not. Right now, we can't do a lot of things, so we're going to stick to the game plan, and hopefully,
bread and butter.
We can produce at a higher level.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I think we're just we're just looking for the toughness, looking for, and I think we'll be well prepared for this game because even though the Cal game, I think the offense took a step in the right direction.
There's a lot more to be taken away from that Cal game than there was with
So
past 3, honestly.
Agreed.
Yeah, and that's So even though UW has a losing record right now, fans shouldn't overlook this.
Not in the slightest.
And UW has always played us tough.
They did to us in recent.
Yeah,
let's not speak on that.
That was the UCLA game the other week and the Washington game.
Arguably some of the most painful losses I've witnessed live.
And was that 2 years ago, I believe?
It was our freshman year.
I think it might have been our
sophomore year.
I think it was 2 years ago.
It was sophomore. It was
2 years ago.
It was raining, and we got dominated on almost every position possible.
Yeah. So
pause on that, but just saying.
Yeah.
Could have been taken wrong.
So
all right, game predictions. UW, Oregon State.
All right, let's start.
We had to do a quick little rapid fire, no biased, just
all right,
pure emotion. What do you got?
Jake Browning, he's a solid QB. He's I think for coming up here in the next, because he's a freshman coming up in the next few years, he's going to be probably a quarterback to reckon with here. I'm going to say Browning's probably going to get 3 touchdowns on us. That's my prediction right there. Is Browning's going to have a good game, and we're going to lose 35-17.
All right.
That's kind of with my prediction. I was going to go 31-14 Washington. Like I said, I hope we're wrong every week. It's just
I hope we're wrong too.
It is
as
what
we
it
always
is.
say.
Honest predictions.
Yeah.
Jeff?
I'm going to go with Washington 30, Oregon State 24.
I'm going to go with Washington 28, Oregon State 13, just because Oregon State offense may not be able to generate enough points to keep up with UW. So
You said 28-13?
yeah, 28-13.
Interesting. I'm going to have to go 28-10, Washington.
All right.
So we're all kind of in the same
We're in the same kind of
ballpark.
boat. Yeah.
Same ballpark. It's not the offense. I just don't think the offense won't be there, but
Yeah.
we shall see.
Yeah.
We're hoping it comes together one of these games.
Obviously, we
predicted it
always
multiple
hope
weeks, and
that
it
we're
just
always
doesn't
wrong.
happen. So.
Yeah,
but
we've mentioned it last night on TV as well here, Jake.
Yeah, quick little plug there.
For the
Thursday
Beavs
nights,
Sports Show.
Jam
Thursday nights.
26.
But one thing that also we liked, and I think we should offensive, is involve more Noah Togiai.
We were just saying that. First career touchdown last week.
Yeah, so I really like what we saw out of him.
Yeah.
Even though it was really short, but I think if we evolve him more, I think offensive wise, I think that's good. Safety.
Yeah, he's dynamic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So.
All right, that's Oregon State football talk for this episode. If you guys have any opinions, wins, losses, what you think the score will be, tweet at us. As we've said, #secondstringsports. If you're listening live,
We'll give you a shout out on air.
yeah, we'll give you, no promises you'll get any followers from it, but we'll do it.
I'll follow you.
That. Yeah, scratch
Guaranteed.
that. If you
Jeff's
tweet
got the
us,
love.
Jeff will follow
Jeff's
you.
got the love.
All right, thanks for listening. We're going to be coming back up with some Oregon State basketball talk. Stay tuned.
Yee.
People who have irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS, often experience its symptoms differently. Hi, I'm Dr. Lauren Gerson. Patients may have changes in bowel habits and stomach pain. For some, bloating is also troubling.
I had so much bloating, it felt like I had an expanding balloon in my stomach. I took control and talked to my doctor. She told me I had IBS. I took action to manage my symptoms.
If IBS is impacting your life, speak with your doctor and discuss options to manage your symptoms. For more information about IBS, visit aboutibs.org.
And we're back. Second String Sports.
Yes.
Yeah, second string. All right. Oregon State men's basketball, 3-0.
Oh, yeah.
I love that powerful little Jaguar.
So, yeah, we had a win last night versus Rice.
Exactly.
We cruised down to Texas and took care of business. I like that out of the Tinkle crew. And GP had, I think it was 19 points last night.
Yeah.
So, GP's just...
Malcolm
Filling up the
also had a
stat sheet
solid
as
game.
usual.
As usual.
Yeah. And the thing about this season right now is GP is taking over just like major rebounding. Almost unreal, really.
And he did that last year, and he's just still...
Yeah, but this year I feel like he's taking it to another level.
And
It's
that's
a new
insane
level.
because last year was...
which is even more amazing. So,
I mean, he's already got that Pac-12 defensive nod preseason, so living up to it, I must say.
yeah. I'm liking it.
Can't complain.
Even though it's a short, highlights and
Yeah, it's only
resume
three,
of
yeah.
what we've seen this season,
I'm just impressed with the freshmen as well, too.
I like it.
Man.
Drew Eubanks.
I watched Drew. I had the opportunity to watch Drew in high school, and let me tell you, the development that the coaching staff gave him from his senior year to this freshman year. I mean, Drew was phenomenal. In high school, he wasn't doing what he's doing now. So
I can imagine.
Drew became a good listener and was coachable, and the coaches did a good job prepping him because he is playing out of his mind.
Yeah.
The dude was shooting. What do you have? 2 missed shots before the last game, I believe.
Yeah, and he missed
shooting at 80% first 2 games.
Yeah, he was 8 and 9 from the field against Iona in that game.
He's averaging 13 and 5 and shooting 88%.
Freshman.
Yeah, and he's
A
just
freshman.
putting on a dunk contest every
Those
single
two-hand
game.
slams
Dude,
looking like a...
he's just like a big old mop around the rim, just cleaning up the shots. Let me tell you, you see these shots bounce off the rim. He will extend back, get
he's
it,
huge.
and he'll rock it and bring it back.
Yeah.
And I know we were all talking about our concern with the Gomez injury. I mean, who would have
Yeah,
foreseen
and well,
this?
yeah,
It's
and,
filling
you know,
the void, honestly.
How exciting is it when Gomez comes back now?
Oh, man.
And Jarmal.
Yeah. Oh,
Correct.
Man. Yeah.
That's the thing. We are playing at a high level without two, and it's funny because you don't think of Jamal and Gomez as players that are game changers, but realistically, a part of this defense, Jamal is a phenomenal basketball player. You wouldn't tell from his personality because he's such a goofball. Well, he makes a difference when he's out there, and the same as Gomez. I'm very excited when they come back.
And Jarmal's a player who's also developed just crazy from
and that's
his freshman year.
And no
His
disrespect,
sophomore year as well.
Yeah, and his sophomore
no,
year.
and no disrespect to Coach Robinson, but you have to look at Coach Tinkle and really you got to be giving him a tip of the cap because what he's done with these players as far as development has been very impressive.
Yeah, because that's what I think at the Iona game the other night too. Grant and I were looking at I think it was 10 minutes left in the second half, and we're just looking at how many points we have, and we're like, we had this at not even towards the end of the game.
It's just night and day.
Yeah, 90 points against Iona, and that's just from last year.
And they're not bad.
Last year was the defense and using the defense with the zone. But this year we can go into zone, we can go into man,
and you can see him testing the man too, which is great because preseason Tinkle's letting him run a little bit. Let his horses run, letting the freshmen test out. He's doing a good job of accelerating on and off the gas, and you can tell.
And that's what we had because AJ English came in, and he's
top
a
prospect,
top NBA prospect coming in, and we had Langston come in and practically shut him down. He was AJ English was 4 of 17 from the field, I believe. He was it was a tough night shooting for him. Maybe
I heard the Beaver Dam had a little bit of an impact on Mr. English.
Yeah.
I heard English couldn't handle the Beaver Dam.
We're a little bit in his head.
Yeah, man. We were playing, and there's this guy named Washington. You didn't see him on the court very much because he wasn't doing much when he was on the court. The Beaver Dam played a big role in that game. Iona is a solid team. They had an off night. Yeah. Not to say we're not a good basketball team, but Iona definitely is better than what they produced. The percentages were off. Their big men didn't play well, and their lead player shot horrendous.
Yeah, so I think that has to say partially with the Beaver Dam and partially what our defense is doing now.
Agreed.
And I think our defense, I think at the start of the season, Tinkle said we're not where we're at defensively, and we're still looking somewhat impressive. And just to go forward, I think our defense is going to be scary.
Agreed.
So.
True. Right. And also, one last thing, when you look at the offense, too, I've been really impressed with, the balance of scoring. We have a bunch of players averaging, around 10 points a game, and it's not one person taking over. It seems like they can come kind of at all angles. I mean, it's, it's really impressive. It's not just one player trying to go one-on-one the whole time. It's ball movement. And
So a quick little side note here. We do got a few live tweets coming in, going back to the Gary Payton discussion we had earlier from Nolan Smith, not to be commonly confused with the Duke failure of a point guard who wasted Portland's draft pick. Sorry for tainting your name, Nolan, out there listening. I just, I'm bitter still. But anyways, Nolan Smith says, how realistic does GP2 Pac-12 Player of the Year sound? And he also tweeted, or does GP2 need to score more to not get overlooked?
I think GP2 as a Defensive Player of the Year, it's probably him or Tarzinski.
No, he said Pac-12 Player of the Year.
Pac-12 overall Player of the Year.
Pac-12 Player of the Year. He said, how realistic does that sound?
It does not sound unrealistic at all, really. But if you look at it from each team, I think possibly the hardest one is going to be Jaylen Brown from University of Cal. He's a freshman coming in. He's going to. He might be a one and done. I've heard rumors from Cal out there, but he's most likely a one and done.
So Jaylen Brown, I ran the LSI. I helped run the LSI tournament up in Hillsborough every winter, and I had the opportunity to meet. I get to meet a lot of these top recruits. Aaron Gordon was one of the guys I've worked with, and Jaylen Brown was one of the people I worked with last year. And it's funny because Jaylen, when we discussed last winter, he was looking at ACC, SEC. Pac-12 wasn't even an option.
He made a huge.
So it was a surprise, and by that, I almost think it's one and done.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure.
Gotta be right.
The fact that he swapped to Pac-12 was crazy. But back to the question, what I wanted to say is, I'm biased. I will be upfront because I really like this team, but just because Gary steals turn into offensive production.
Yeah.
And as Nolan said, does he need to score more not to get overlooked?
I really don't think so.
I think
he already has the games enough where he's...
If scoring is what
17th.
defines Pac-12 Player of the Year, that's wrong.
Yeah.
It should be an all-around...
Flat out, yeah.
If you look, Grant mentioned it, he fills the stat sheet.
yeah, if you look at his stats this year, all right, I'll read them off real quick.
Yeah.
15.7 points a game, 7.3 rebounds, 6 assists, and over 4 steals and over 1 block.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
The man is a tornado on the court.
And the thing is, like, what I enjoy is he's one of those guys, when the game starts getting a little bit close, a team hits a 3, they get it within 5, Gary will explode and dunk on somebody and just absolutely change. That's what you look for in a Player of the Year, a game changer. Not someone who's just going to drop buckets a lot. I mean, I understand that. That's great. But when Gary changes the game defensively and with his mentality, which comes from his pops.
Yeah, and I think,
of course.
If we finish, in my opinion, in the top 3, top 5, if we're in there and GP's doing what he's doing.
You predicted third last night.
I did predict. I predicted third all season.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Logan.
Yeah.
I think third's realistic.
Yeah.
I think we're underlooked.
I think we
Arizona
are
number 2.
I think
Zona. I ain't scared of Zona.
No, I'm not scared of Zona this year at all. I think Zona's really deep, and they're going to be really tough as well. They've lost a lot of players. You got to say
they're top 3, though, right?
Yeah, they're still going to be really good. I think Cal is going to be a force to reckon with this year. I think Cal's going to be scary.
Cal's good.
Going to when Cal comes here, that is going to be the game.
Gil better be packed
this
to
year.
the absolute brim.
Gil will be sold out. Promise.
Of course.
So
Gil will sell out a couple times this year. It was close last year for the Civil War. It's going to sell out, I think,
USC
2 to 3
game
times.
last year, too.
It was very close.
Yeah.
Gil will be well attended at all levels, not just Civil War this year.
And Civil War. That I still have a problem with the Civil War scheduling this.
That's unfortunate. It was Tinkle's upset. I talked to him at great length, and they've said it's out of their hands.
It's out of their hands. It's not with us. It's with just
and
overall.
It's strictly just for TV
NCAA.
ratings. That's how they do it, based off TV ratings. And, last year we had it on a Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Who in the heck's going to come to Corvallis 8 p.m. on a Wednesday?
Especially commuter. People have jobs.
So, I think about myself. I got a job up in the Portland area next year. I'm going to obviously want to come to a game like that. There's absolutely no way I'll be able to come down to Corvallis at 8 p.m. tip
Wednesday night.
And I have worked 7 or 8 the next day. That's unrealistic. So it's unfortunate because that's the direction we've gone in with sports is TV time.
Yep.
Ratings, money, yeah.
It sounded like everyone
shout out to our boy
though,
Yogi Roth.
Yeah, true. It sounded like everyone in here agreed, though, that Gary hasn't. We all think Gary has a potential to be Pac-12 Player of the Year.
Hands down.
Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind.
I just don't. I know no one followed up the offense thing. I really don't think it should be the defining.
No, not at all.
I think it would frustrate me if that was the Achilles heel of him not getting it.
Yeah, and that's what the Pac-12 has done in the past too.
Yeah,
that's what they've been doing.
I could see him saying, "No, he was close, but he didn't score enough." Mm-hmm. But I'd have to see the production from the other person to comment on it otherwise.
Yeah. Well, what was it last year? Was it TJ McConnell, right?
I can't remember.
I think it was. And
Kyle, look it up.
So yeah, I definitely think that GP has probably he's in the top 5 of
Got to be.
for Pac-12 Player of the Year. So
All right, so moving on. Last Oregon State men's basketball. What is your guys' young factor to look at this year?
young factor,
Young factor, not Gary Payton. We know Gary Payton, but
YUNG.
young, yeah.
All right, not looking like we're talking like young players.
Yes, like the young factor who's going to come in and support Gary the most.
Okay.
You think I was just putting young in front of factor and just being like,
I was interested in what
what's
your
that
context
young
is in
factor this year, boy? No, yeah, literally, figuratively, young.
Well, the cool part about that is that we have actually a lot of possibilities to pick from this year instead of one.
Stephen Thompson Jr., the 3 god, is what I'm going to say for this year.
Yeah, and he's shooting a good percentage from deep as well.
Hey, shout out to his hair though. How the heck do you make it stay like that?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, Stevie Thompson currently shooting
Shout out Stephen Thompson.
53% from
You
3.
can come on the show and talk about your hair.
That's
Can't get
unreal.
much better than that.
My young factor is, what's the big guy's name that we have on the
Big G.
Is that how do you pronounce his name?
Gregorius?
Something.
Yeah,
It's hard. Yeah.
Sorry for
hard.
butchering it, man.
So,
I'm just
In all press conferences right now, Tinkle is referred to him just as Big G.
Okay, so I'm
Even Tinkle can't say his name.
going to
Screw this.
advocate for Big G because I've seen some things I like, and it's obvious that Tinkle, Eubanks, and Thompson will excel this year.
Yeah.
It's just time for them to grow. Big G, however, he is going to have an opportunity to learn from Gomez is going to be huge for him. Eubanks is obviously learned from Gomez as well, but Eubanks is in a different category. He's an athletic big man. You don't see
Big G's he's a bruiser.
Yes, exactly. They're different. Gomez, even though he's not as thick as Big G, he plays like a bruiser. So for me, because assuming, let's say someone gets injured, because it's not unrealistic to say someone gets hurt throughout the year, Big G's got to have to step up. And I saw him produce better the last game. I saw him making some plays, and I see him getting there, and he has a little bit of fire in him. So I think he's going to be my factor, even though he's not going to have much playing time. But I think we'll see him at some point in the season.
Why not?
Yeah,
Exactly.
He's not I wouldn't quote unquote young factor. Now with I don't know what your context is here, but I'm gonna go Langston.
It's literal.
Langston is my X factor. I think if Langston just has a decent performance every single night, whether if it doesn't fill up the stat sheet, whether if it's just 6 points with 5 assists or whatever, 2 rebounds,
They got to guard him.
They got to guard him. He has
Worry
the
about
offensive
him.
threat. His defense has improved mightily.
Yeah,
I will say.
I'm just
also.
going to say there's moments he needs to chill from 3, though. Let's be
Hey,
honest.
you got to blame that on the Beaver Dam just getting hyped.
Yeah, there was a
He
couple
even
times-
said that. He even said that, like, man, when you're in Gill, everybody's just turning up and you just want to let it fly.
Yeah.
You can
that's
see it.
true.
Yeah.
I mean,
Agreed. When you look at it, though, 40% this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
way
he's
better.
looking
dude,
way
no,
more
he's off
confident.
I'm saying from last year, it's looking left field the way,
I'm gonna shout out his
excited.
haircut too because Langston got a fire haircut as well.
Yeah.
The team doesn't. They
Whole
look
team
good on
on
the court.
fleek.
They also dress well off the court. They are balling on
Olaf,
all
step it up.
levels. Yeah.
Sorry, Loff. I've only seen you in like sweats and flip flops, so
Olaf's a simple man. He just wants to hit the 3 and be done.
just got to live his life. What do you think Olaf does at home for fun?
Soccer.
Watch Frozen.
Watch for
All right, that was a bad joke.
Jeff thought it was funny.
I liked it.
Thanks, Jeff.
I giggled,
liked it,
I giggled
Jay.
on the inside.
I'll let
Needless
it
to
go.
say, we're excited for men's basketball this year. And, I mean, quick little shout out women's basketball as well. Absolutely
Oh, we're going to be
disintegrated,
even more ball in there
dominated.
Jake, I'm glad you mentioned that because
Against
talk
Long.
about bringing women's basketball up. They don't get enough love. And
Yeah.
It came in number.
We got
for God's sakes.
Ruth's balling.
It's almost
Sydney's balling.
unbelievable how good our team is
And how little attention they're getting.
Well, agreed with that. It's
They only
just
sold 2,000
unbelievable how
tickets.
we went from A to B with that team.
Yeah.
I
Oh
felt like
my
we just came out of nowhere, and all of a sudden these guys are just fantastic. I went and watched the game. Ruth is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ruth.
It's not. It's a joke for some of the teams. The Pac-12 games you watch, Ruth is putting up 6-7 blocks in the first half.
Yep.
Which,
Yeah.
if you guys, I don't even know, women's basketball switched to quarters now.
Yeah.
So that's new.
Fun fact, we put up 100 points against Longwood, and women's basketball's record is 170 points in 1982. So,
Jeez.
7 points shy of already breaking that record. I mean, granted, it was an opponent that was significantly it was like the Olympics playing, second graders, honestly. But
I've already making my prediction for women's basketball, Elite Eight, at least.
I love it. Why not?
I'm saying Final Four.
Yeah, I see. I'm just saying, I'm not gonna go straight to Final Four, but I'm saying Elite Eight is definitely in the picture for the women's basketball team.
Not arguing there.
All right,
basketball season, SZN in approach.
basketball.
We're here.
Fever.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. We'll be right back after this last break of the show. This is Second String Sports every Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Stay tuned.
Peace.
Research shows that there's a strong connection between the quality of learning experiences a child has in early life and the level of success that the child will experience later in life. By the time children reach kindergarten, there is already a big gap in school readiness between those who have had these quality early learning experiences and those who have not. As a child's first and most important teachers, parents must be educated about the tremendous impact that quality learning can have on the future success of their children and what they can do in the early years to give their children the best possible start. Children who come to school healthy and ready to succeed are more likely to finish school, become part of a productive workforce, and contribute to society and the economy.
And we're back. Second String Sports, getting into it here. Last leg of the show. Want to talk a little NBA action here?
Let's do it.
We got a pro self-proclaimed. He hasn't gotten his shine yet on this show. Kyle, why don't you give a little shout out your nickname?
I got a radio nickname that I coined myself earlier this year in January. Smooth on the radio.
Smooth on the radio.
You gotta be smoother when you talk about it.
Jeff, compose yourself.
I was also going to say you're known commonly as the NBA hipster.
NBA, yes.
Oh,
at
that's
NBA
you?
hipster.
I didn't know that was you. I'll follow you
on Twitter.
What?
Hit that follow for me, please.
Do you?
No, I didn't follow it. I will now. I didn't know that was you.
Yeah, that's me.
I'll follow.
It's an
He
okay
has, let's just say, a little off the wall NBA thoughts. He's a few years ago. He thought
Are you
we
one
should
of those
trade
guys that makes hypothetical trades and then
Oh.
tries to blow them up? Because I hate
Jeff.
those guys.
All the time.
I mean, looking back,
I hate those guys.
3 years ago or 3 years ago, Kyle said we should trade LaMarcus Aldridge for Omer Ashiq.
And the number one pick.
No, you did not include that in there.
Yes, that
when,
was
no, you
included.
when we were in high school, the Blazers were, I can't remember if it was a junior, senior year, but we kept saying the most absurd things and tweeting out so-and-so. This is when Twitter was new.
Yeah, like
And so we were the
2008, yeah.
breaking news for the Blazers, like signing of free agents. And we had convinced our whole high school that we didn't sign back LaMarcus or something absurd like that. So that's funny that you brought that up.
Man.
It is what it is. Let's get into it. NBA,
Yeah.
meat and bones of the show.
So let's
Meat and
go
potatoes.
off with an interesting topic here, and
All right.
I know it's a topic that kind of pushes Jake's buttons. It's kind of the bearded
geez,
man
what's
with Houston Rockets. What's your guys' opinion on the Houston Rockets firing McHale?
They should have taken the trash out with McHale. Get Harden out of Houston, bro.
So
Yeah, definitely not McHale's fault whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, you were just in the Western Conference Finals, less than 6 months ago, so
Yeah.
not his fault.
not his fault at all. And James Harden, you can see.
Players
he's
frustrated with
putting
him.
up points, but
He
players
is,
are
but it's like,
frustrated.
what
with
is
him.
it? As we were going back to what Jeff said, the points are nice, but really,
Yeah.
are you that valuable to
it's
your
like,
team?
somebody said, what did Harden get? First team All NBA last year?
Yeah.
All right, so tell me what kind of defensive performance do I need to perform to get on first team NBA? Because what he has atrocious defense.
Well, they were saying last year in the 2014 finals or playoffs, he heavily addressed some of his defensive flaws, which he was praised for. But this year, the first 10, 12
went
games of
away.
the season, it literally looks like he retracted back to first grade.
All
It's
he did
trash.
all he did
hold
all
up,
summer was
Logan, why don't
partying.
you grab that for the camera? Shout out James.
And mess around with a Kardashian sister as well, so
James,
We got James Harden.
James, what do you have to say
priorities here.
for your defense?
I'm trash.
Yeah.
Well, I was looking at some of the reports, and it sounded like James was in LA partying most of the offseason. I'm
Too
not
worried
sure
about that Adidas
Yeah,
move.
that
There was that TMZ video
All right,
I saw.
Also, I got to talk about how stupid do you have to be to sign a $200 million contract and then with Adidas and then still wear Air
Continually
Jordans
wear Nikes and Jordans.
over? It happened 2 or 3
Just-
times. How stupid do you need to be?
Yep. So
James Harden, stupid.
How
You
much
give me
money do you
$200
have to
million.
be paid? Yeah.
You give me $200 million. I'll wear Reebok. I'll wear whatever it may be.
Or Skechers, fam.
Yeah, dude. I'll wear the shape ups. Like
shape up.
200 mil. Sign me up.
Exactly.
That's Arizona State education for you.
Got him.
Just saying.
Roasted.
All right, so Rockets. Do you even see them? Are they a one and done first round this year in the playoffs, or do you think they pick it up? Well, we don't even know who they're going to rehire at this point. But
do they get to the playoffs?
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, seriously.
Wow. I mean,
Who's their leader? They took
they're going to try
Trevor
to
Ariza.
the Somalian pirate.
Well, they took their leader. They took McHale.
Yeah. They don't really.
You know what? If you look me straight in the face and tell me Dwight Howard's a leader, that's very disrespectful for you to lie to me right to my face.
See, right now, I saw some reports. If this actually happens, it could be interesting, but it's not going to change James Harden. But if
you talking about?
Tom Thibodeau, if
Yeah, I
that
saw
if
that
that
too.
happens,
that's true.
If that happens, that could be very interesting.
Because they're frustrated in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, no, he's gone.
Yeah,
he's not with them
Yeah, it's
anymore.
Hoiberg.
Yeah,
Fred
Hoiberg's there
Hoiberg.
now. So Thibodeau, he's out
When
there.
did that happen? I didn't even know.
Yeah, Jeff
Oh,
Freeman.
no, I knew that. I knew that. Happened a while ago. I knew that. My bad. That's my bad. Drop the ball.
So if that happens,
ball.
I just think that's a game changer for the Houston Rockets and the Western Conference.
Agreed.
All right, so let's move on.
How about them Warriors?
Yeah, okay. Can we go Warrior?
Nah, they're just hot.
Yeah.
They ain't even good, fam. It's a fluke.
Bro, wait till they got to go and play Portland. They ain't nothing. Yeah, that's ridiculous because Steph is dumb. He's just ridiculously good.
Yeah, he's
It's sickening.
He's toying with people right now.
It's currently undefeated.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, you can't honestly pick against them for another finals favorite. I mean,
I think the Warriors are the best team right now in the NBA as far as offensive production.
yeah.
However, I still feel that you put them in a 7-game series with a team like Cleveland when Cleveland's at full strength. And then you look at last year's finals, the Warriors returned basically the same team. Mm-hmm. And the reasons it was a close finals, like Cleveland almost won
you
that
have Kevin
without
Love this year too.
Yeah, and Kyrie. Deladova was their starting point guard. You put him in a 7-game series with a team that can bruise.
That ain't gonna happen again, though.
Yeah, I mean, and then also the thing that the NBA that kind of stinks is preseason or regular season defense is not playoff defense. You don't
get to see an accurate depiction.
This is just teams coasting to get to the playoffs.
I'm just gonna say maybe the Spurs, but
No, that's fine. I think you go into the postseason. You saw it early too with some of the Warriors' opponents. The defense cranked up and it was a little difficult at times, and you saw it definitely in the Cleveland series.
yeah.
I agree. I think one thing going against the Warriors is they have that target on their back now that they've won a championship, and I think that teams are kind of playing harder against them this year so far. At least
I think you noticed that the teams. And Logan brought up the Spurs, like a team like the Spurs, because the Warriors are relatively have youth, but the Spurs have that knowledge, that IQ.
Yeah, and the Spurs they just
They use
won't
to their
care
advantage,
what
yeah.
seed they get. Really,
No, that's a mentality in the West you have to have. I think.
Yeah.
because
And
in the
you
West
just
you could
get in.
the West you could finish with one loss than the person above you and end up in the 7, or the 8 spot.
Yeah.
Like that, so if you're in the West, you just got to realize, well, no matter how well we do, we're gonna have to produce, regardless at home or not.
Yeah,
and
there's
that's what makes the West fun.
yeah, and it was like last year as well with the Pelicans and the Thunder.
Yeah, that's great.
One shot Anthony Davis make
Yeah.
in the regular season
Yeah.
decided the playoffs.
I mean, every time the Eastern
Conference.
Conference is like, let's fast forward to the conference finals, maybe, and then we'll possibly watch.
yeah.
We got another live tweet coming in saying Shaq's Lakers would beat this Golden State Warriors team, right? Question mark.
Yeah. Shaq would probably dunk all over Festus
Sorry,
Ezeli.
Bogut or
Sorry,
Ezeli.
Festus.
You can't handle 01, 02 Shaq. So
I don't know about Bogut.
We should
I hate Bogut, to be honest. I hate
Extreme
Bogut.
Sports as a show hates Bogut.
I remember against that little skirmish, that little Blazers Golden State skirmish where Bogut got into it. I remember people found Bogut's fiance on Twitter, and
Are you serious?
I tweeted at her.
I believe that.
Oh man.
Just saying.
Shaq would demolish.
Oh, man.
You take-
Oh man, Bogut would shrivel
I'm a huge LeBron fan, but if you put the Shaq team against even Cleveland, even when he was in Miami, that's a hell of a series. I don't even know who wins, but I think Shaq is the most because I watched him, unstoppable.
Yep.
But then again, he also got away throwing a bow to the face almost every other play. That was vintage.
The
swinging
good,
elbow.
Good old NBA
Yeah, the
days
real
where it
NBA.
wasn't sensitive.
Well, actually, that brings up a point. Do you guys what do you like? You like the NBA right now, or do you kind of miss that when we were younger? Because
It's frustrating right
I
now.
loved that kind of basketball, the Jordan era.
I
I
feel
didn't
like
get to watch all
everyone
of
does.
it.
Yeah, I think.
Well, some people love this Steph Curry style where, okay, if we can't be physical, I'm just going to dribble around you and shoot.
I mean,
I miss the
they both
golden
have
days,
pros
honestly.
and cons, but I think arguably everyone misses when it was,
And I
you
miss
didn't
watching
touch
it on
the tip of someone's elbow and get called for a technical.
Yeah, and I miss watching just old school videos as well.
Agreed.
And just the way footage was is maybe on ABC, and just I just remember watching just there was a Spurs Pistons series or
Bad Boy Pistons, arguably the
even
coolest.
when the Pistons were good in the 07 days with I miss those days.
See, I'm a huge Ben Wallace fan,
And Ben Wallace,
Big Ben.
Ben Wallace embodies what I think you need to have to play defense in the NBA.
Hard-nosed.
Yeah, that's what I was
full
getting
limit.
at.
In my opinion, well, actually, it's funny. I watched the Royal in the Palace, or what was it called?
Rumble Malice in the Palace.
Malice in
Yeah.
the Palace. I watched that video the other day.
epic.
This is the anniversary,
if you could you imagine if that happened in 2015?
They'd
Oh
get
my,
a-
they'd be out of the league. They'd be playing in China.
Fine, league ban
You know what
for
happened?
2
Then they
years.
got fined. He punched fans. Like
he
it
did,
was. It
yeah.
wasn't just it was the two players. They want to stand and punch fans. They got
Attacked
fined and
bystanders.
got suspended, and they came back. Now they'd be dismissed from the league.
One key memory I have from that as well is I'm in my room, I'm watching my little TV, and I just remember hearing Bill Walton just going, "This is a disgrace to the NBA. This is a
Bill Walton
disgrace."
reporting.
It was just great moments.
Shout out Bill Walton.
Yeah, I just it was just I'm gonna go with Jeff. Old NBA days, better.
All right. Before we move on from the NBA and finish out the show, we got to get in some Blazer talk here. I mean, as
Yeah.
tough as it is to mention, coming up on a 9-game losing streak here.
No,
7.
7.
Wow.
That would have been
I was jumping the gun. I mean, saying it could be 9, but
I think you meant to say 9-game winning streak coming up.
oh yeah, exactly. Blazers playing the Clips
let's
tonight.
be positive, Jay.
Clips coming
Yeah.
off of a disappointed Blazers-esque type fourth quarter collapse against the Warriors last night when they're
They're up by 23 at one point.
Yeah,
up
they were
by
up over 20.
23. And speaking of the Blazers, they also gave up, a fourth quarter lead against the Rocks the other night, lost in overtime.
To Trevor, was it? No, it was Corey Brewer.
Corey Brewer running 4 feet behind the line.
I saw that.
And also, your guys' good friend LaMarcus Aldridge beat you guys twice.
Don't even
Yeah,
associate him.
I don't
with
even want
this
to. Yeah,
That's cute.
Okay, Spurs fan Logan. Let's get
Cute.
that in there.
Wait, what?
Let's see if LaMarcus gets a ring.
I think it's a very good possibility that could happen.
Yeah,
but,
it's a good possibility, but let's see if it happens.
all right.
Not with Tony Parker this year.
Tony Parker needs to get his wheelchair or
Hey, he, had a
something.
good,
'cause
he had a good game last
He has
game.
his
22
good-
points.
Yeah, he has one good game,
every 5,
sprinkled in every
10.
3, 4.
But Tony doesn't need to have a good game.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
But in the playoffs, he does.
I think you guys are overlooking Kawhi. Just saying.
No.
Yeah.
I think the Spurs are fantastic. I think their Achilles heel is their guard is Tony Parker.
Yeah.
Or even Patty Mills. I think Patty Mills has played at a high level, which is really impressive. It's sad to see. I'm more upset about Patty right now than LaMarcus because Patty's producing and we could use him. We couldn't use him, I guess, with Lillard, but still, it hurts to see Patty go from what he did for us to being
Fatty Patty with a fro.
to being a
miss,
role player to
Come on, Fatty Patty.
he's going to be a starter if,
he's basically
if
starting
Parker
for the
gets
Spurs.
hurt, which is very likely because of how old he is.
Shut up, Parker. Anyways, we do got one more live tweet coming in
I
saying...
hate Ginobili, by the way. I hate him.
Even Logan hates Ginobili.
I don't hate Ginobili.
You
I don't love
have,
hate.
you have your moments
I understand
of hating
European
Ginobili.
basketball. Him and Harden, I can't stand to watch play basketball.
Harden minded all this
the
move to
neck
France.
and the flail, they look like they're
He
in a
did
ballerina.
flop 3 times in Portland too, and got away with it.
We were live.
Yeah, we were there.
We
live.
witnessed
Have you guys ever
disgusting.
YouTube Ginobili's flops? There's a compilation of them. They're pretty funny.
My favorite Ginobili memory is the bat, personally.
Oh, I love the bat moment. that's a goat moment from Ginobili.
I do love
Anyway.
Tim Duncan though. I love Tim
Oh,
Duncan.
who doesn't? Exactly. We do have
Mr.
one more live
Fundamental.
tweet coming in saying, hopes and expectations for this season's Blazers. Do we even mention tanking?
I got you guys in
oh, jeez. Turn off the mic.
Ben
I can
Simmons.
turn off your mic.
hands down.
Do we even have a first round draft pick?
I think I saw
No.
that. I know because he gave you guys the Nuggets. My bad. Yeah.
We traded it
Well,
to him.
I think it's if it's in the top 14.
Look,
I think you have to make the
so,
playoffs.
Did we trade that pick for a Flalo?
Yeah, but it's what top. It's top 14 protected though.
Hey,
So
Jaylen Brown is nice. I watched him play at high school. Or excuse me, not Jaylen. Ben Simmons is nice, just like Jaylen Brown. I watched both of them play against each other.
Doesn't matter for the
Give me,
Blazers.
give me either of them. I'd be very
Forgot about
happy.
that.
We ain't getting either of them though. So
Our GM's smart. He'll make moves.
I have a
We're
feeling
not going to end this with this team. There's no way this is the team we end with.
Of course not.
and when you
Grant,
look at-
how eminent do you think a trade is this season coming up on the deadline? Gerald's gone
For sure.
For sure. I
Yeah.
think he's a piece.
Yeah, I mean,
Even-
I don't know who.
The only person that stays here for sure is Lillard and basically McCollum. Everyone else,
I agree.
Everyone else has a
I would
hot
say
seat.
even Myers, with
Of course
rejecting
Myers,
his contract,
yeah.
now he's on the
And apparently that contract was relatively generous, is what I heard.
and he denied it.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
see
I
what
don't know.
happens with that. But
I mean, but when you look at the season so far, there are some close. Our 7 losses have been.
it hasn't been
Close.
At least we're not. I mean, as crappy as it is to blow a lead in the fourth, we're not getting blown out in these games. So we know how to get there. We just don't know how to finish. We have the raw skill, against some of these matchups, but it's not like, Damian's really the only closer that we have at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been good the last couple games. We started off hot. I like the effort we're giving out every
Who knows?
night.
We could turn. I mean, hopes for Grant and Kyle too. Hopes for the season.
Well, I mean,
Optimistically, what do you think?
after the first couple games, I thought, maybe like a 9 or 8, like possibly sneak into the very end, like edge of the playoff.
Like edge it in, yeah.
I just
I mean,
don't.
not saying-
I don't see it anymore at all. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they're just so overmatched talent wise every night, and so much youth.
Unless we get a trade coming in, but
I think like Logan was saying, draft pick is pretty crucial at this point because we're not at a point where we're gonna.
so you're saying
do anything.
Olshane's making that move this year to deplete the team even more for trading for the
I don't know if we're
possibly.
I don't know if we're gonna tank.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think these.
I mean,
we brought
Olshay in the
we brought in all these players who have a chip on their shoulder and want to play and prove
Speaking of
themselves. So
chip,
I don't think they're gonna tank. They're gonna try.
Through the silver lining, as much as we've been, struggling through this losing streak, who's been your silver lining besides the obvious CJ McCollum? I mean, he's absolutely excellent this year, but
Can I
Guy
get
that
in
you're
on
looking
that?
at.
That would be.
Yeah, go for it.
It's got to be Alan Crabb. I'd say Crabb easily. I mean, he can get hot. He's had several games where he's gone 6 for 6, 7 for 7. He can get hot from 3. He plays pretty solid defense. Other than, he kind of got torched by Harden last game, and
But a lot of people get torched by
everyone gets torched by James Harden because he draws fouls with his arms flailing. So,
exactly. I mean, it's a tough one, but we got to ride out and see what happens. Honestly, that's all we can do, right? I'm excited.
That's it.
It's a go Bees mentality, to be honest.
Go Beavs and go Zers. Go Blazers tonight. Go Beavs tomorrow. That's pretty much all we got for today's show, guys. It was a packed one. Thanks for everyone who's listened. Second String Sports, everyone who tweeted at us live and watched online. Quick little shout out to our 2 guests. They'll be on more. Winter term, spring term, senior year. We got to get them on.
Yee!
Little last minute shout outs for you guys. Got anything to say?
I just want to end it with go Zers.
I mean, who doesn't? I love it. Jeff?
Well, he's still a Thunder, so I can't do that.
Yeah.
I want to shout out. I got a friend visiting down from UW this weekend. His name's Ian. We're looking to have a good time this weekend and show him the Go Beavs lifestyle. We went out. We kind of broke him in last night. We
Yeah,
gave
you
him a
did.
little tour of.
Yeah, you did.
Gave him a little tour of campus. So we're looking to, make the most of what we have this weekend with Beaver Sports.
Yeah, last shout out to you. I'm sure anyone who attends Beaver football games knows Jess from the microphone tomorrow.
All right.
Your last-
It's my last time.
Last
It's sad,
time.
dude. It's sad.
Emotional, man.
I'm upset. I really wish I could have ended on a packed house for sure. It's a little hard to motivate. It's hard to get people fired up. When
Maybe
there's only
you
a
can
couple
end it on
thousand.
a win, though. So
No, that'd be really all of us too. It'd be cool to end on a win.
Of course. Well, enough said. Thank you guys for listening. Whoa, getting a little twisty in the booth, but we will be back next week. Go Beavs.
No, we
Second
won't.
String
We won't be
Sports.
back next week.
Oh, wow.
Thanksgiving
and the Civil War next week. So
Go more Beavs.
go Beavs.
Go Beavs.
Thanks for listening. We will be back. Peace.